on Facebook and I think LinkedIn. Come join us in the YouTube chat, and we would be very happy to have you. And we will be giving away 1 or 200.
We'll be giving away 2 instances of 100 credits each. We'll be giving away 1 in like the halfway point and 1 nearest the end. After you have been randomly drawn, make sure that you share your Kongregate username in the chat, or it will be very difficult for me to give you said credits.
They all go to me if you don't leave your username.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do or don't, whatever you want.
Our streaming compensation, yeah.
Like, I've already given her so many. Take
yes,
some.
Please, you guys have some. I will even give it to you out of my account if we run out. I'm joined here today with Adrian and Tom. Do you guys want to say hello?
Hi. I'll let Tom go first. I'm always here, so I'm not as interesting.
I'm here more and more often lately, which is awesome. I keep being asked back, which is great. But yeah, my name's Tom. I'm a quality assurance manager here at Kongregate. I started a little over a year ago. I am enjoying my time here, and yeah, just working on putting out the cleanest software we possibly can.
And I definitely appreciate your team. They've saved my butt 1,000 times this week already, so thank you.
QA pride.
Sophia's already saying hi. Plan is to Run is here. They are one of our most frequent flyers.
And frequent winners of the giveaway. Plan is to Run knows how to play Kongregate as a website the best. Once a week, chill here for an hour, and there is a reasonable chance you'll just win $10 worth of creds that you can spend anywhere. I think we've given them at least $50. Seriously, we might be coming up on 60, 70 now.
Oh man, that's so great. And Adrian, what are you doing? I guess everyone knows what you do here.
Yeah, well, actually, to make a point, to bring up is Francisco unfortunately is out sick this week, so I am stepping in. So this will be fun. I get to do 2 in a row. I don't usually get to do 2 streams in a row. You know what's really helping? Honestly, Sophia's not here. And so I finally am let out of my cage. It is our stream now. We got this. Been waiting for this day for, 3-4 months. How long have we been doing this?
Plan is to Run. We love having you here. We love giving you those creds. Please don't take our jokes as criticism.
Oh no, you're fine.
We very much appreciate it.
I love giving out creds. It's one of my favorite parts of my job because it's just oh cool, I get to send someone an awesome moment. It's great.
Oh no, I get to send you stuff? That's the worst. Let go of my arm. Well, we have Attica Ramen in with us too.
Oh, hey!
Have they been around before? I don't know.
Yeah, one of these days I'll play Galaxy Control on stream again. They've been asking for that. We'll try to get that arranged. But right now we have such a backlog of games to play on the stream that...
Oh, the problems to have at the stream.
I know, right?
Okay, so since Plan is to Run is here for the newest on Kongregate, let's get into this. We have a new Who's That Companion contest is happening right now. I still don't know what it's going to be. They gave us a preview earlier this week. I wish that I was in the watch channel where they say this is what it is.
This is probably one of my favorites because the outline is really difficult to figure out, and I have gone out of my way to make it more difficult. So enjoy.
You can find that in our Discord. We've also got a TikTok. We have Kong Plus and Threads. Oh, we're on Threads. That's really cool. I forgot that was a thing. But I'm still cool, you guys. I'm still young and with the social media.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I'm with it.
I just updated my MySpace yesterday. It's been a while.
They keep changing what it is, but I will attempt to stay with it.
I'm not giving up my Hotmail account ever.
I still have it. It is where it's my dumping ground. It is my toxic landfill of I only trust this link 70%. Time to bust out the Hotmail.
So my wife uses her AOL account for it still. She still has it. It's just for company spam and nonsense.
Yeah.
Company spam, yeah. My Hotmail was opened in 1998.
Yeah, I'm never gonna give it up.
Yeah, it was way back in the day. So Kongregate has always had like that kind of spot in my heart where I would never delete my Kongregate account. It's that historical and ancient to me. Mine was opened in like 2008.
That's the nice thing about having this one Hotmail for so long for this exact purpose, because like my original Kongregate account is tied to this Hotmail, and so like I can just go to a website and be like, I wonder if I had an account here. It's like, oh, I did.
Yeah.
It's right there. We have Traffic Tour and Colony as our newest games, and we've updated Four Color Theorem, which I haven't played yet. It sounds like my kind of thing.
It is really, really, really good. If you like, I really like Four Color Theorem because it reminds me a lot of some of the games that I feel like took off on Kongregate, of just these like simple, you jump in, you play them, puzzle games, you just go through level after level after level. Really engages your brain, but like doesn't tax it. I can't, like, I love it. I love it. You can kill like 20 to 40 minutes.
Today's Four Color Theorem, right?
Yeah.
Actually, no, this game that we're doing is also fantastic. We've been getting some real good games, y'all.
We're collecting cubes. We're collecting or defeating cubes and making cubes cubier and incremental cubes, if I can say things today. Sophia says that she's been playing Four Color Theorem a lot lately too. So you guys need to tell me whenever this cool stuff drops. You know I'm in AT World.
Nice.
Cool. I do think that is all the announcements, so we can get back to our talks about Armored Core or They Live. I believe we were talking about.
We were talking about They Live right before we started. Yep.
Yeah.
John Carpenter movie for anyone that hasn't seen it. I definitely recommend. And it has Roddy Piper from 80s.
That's
so
it's like movies from my childhood that like are now considered ancient. Movies from the 80s. Wow. People like don't even know about it. The 80s were 40-something years ago. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
Let's get Tom out of here.
Yeah. He's bringing me down.
Yeah. Well,
hey, you guys are talking about being like with it. I mean, the 80s is it right now, isn't it? It's like that's the nostalgia that's it is.
Yeah.
So like, y'all are probably more with it than I am. I'm still living through like 90s grunge kid over here.
I don't think that I'll ever outgrow my 90s grunge.
I don't know if that's gonna be one of those ones that ever does come back, and that's fine by me.
I think that grunge has the evolution of staying where in the 90s, but post grunge is also still really good, and new metal, and then everything that's evolved. I love music. I feel like we S3 could have a serious discussion about music too.
For sure.
I think you could.
Go ahead. Nothing. I was going to say, like, obviously, not obviously, but I was, in my adolescence in the 80s, so, like, super exposed to, like, classic 80s thrash metal and everything, super awesome. That's, like, totally my jam right now. And then, like, late 80s, it started getting into, like, hair metal and stuff, and I was, like, kind of falling off from it. And, like, grunge hit, like, it was, like, the response to hair metal, and I was just, like, all about it. So yeah, Alice in Chains is my favorite group ever.
I did this weird arc with music because growing up, so I grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere, and my dad, huge classic rock guy, played guitar, loved it, had just every CD, every album that you could want from classic rock, he had it. And he's also a digital dude, so he like took all of that and he ripped it to a hard drive. And so at like the age of like 7, I just copied that hard drive, and so from like 7 until 15, all I listened to was music from like the 60s and 70s.
There you go. I mean, I see nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong. Like I missed out on a lot of the stuff that was coming out around me. And then I hit teen angst around 16, and all of a sudden it started making sense. So all of a sudden I just like backfilled and went through the 90s and early 2000s in like 2 years.
Sophia says that the early aughts is in right now, and we've all missed the boat.
Oh yeah, Y2K as well. Yeah, that's the thing right now.
Y2K.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Remember Y2K?
Like Y2K fashion is a thing. It's pretty cool.
My Jinkos and my it was chunky like tank tops and stuff that you couldn't wear to school because don't you dare show your
tops, no
shoulders.
good. Yeah, exactly.
Nothing says the 2000s to me more than those white necklaces with all the little rock
Puka
things.
shells?
Well, yeah, I don't know what they were, but man, that
still
and
have
like
one.
some spiked highlighted hair, like that. Probably something with a collar, and you got it. Like
Wait,
that
it's
is what I
two
think of.
collars. You got to pop those collars.
Oh yeah, that's when we were doing that. That's when we thought that was acceptable.
All this stuff is cyclical. Yeah.
It is. It's all going to come around again, surely. We already had the neon colors and the puffy paint come back, which I'm a big fan of that puffy paint. the fun stuff. Oh, goodness. So we are here to play Incremental Cubes and not
sure
go
about
back
that?
into a
Yeah.
time machine. As fun as it is. Do you want to...
We can time machine it. We can just go back. Yeah.
Oh, Arbiter
yeah.
Rex is here in the chat too. I believe that he heard They Live, and that's a beacon to Arbiter Rex. As soon as someone starts talking weird, crazy, creepy movies, Arbiter Rex is right in the mix. I might have watched that movie with him whenever I watched it like a month ago.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah,
Oh
Arbiter
yeah,
Rex is a
oh
good guy,
definitely. Definitely someone to chat with.
Oh yeah. So incremental cubes.
Yeah, what you're gonna go first, Adrian?
Yeah, I think for this one we'll just go with it because
Okay.
it's kind of we gotta tell a story. We gotta progress. I don't know why it says continue. I don't think I've started a new game on this account. But we'll find out.
You got the news game.
Here we go.
Look at that. Okay, all right.
We got a cube.
We did it. We
Game
collected
over.
a cube.
Oh. Oh boy. Sorry guys, I forgot to beat the tab. We're good. We're good. We're fine. Francisco is sick, but he's here in spirit, but it's okay now. So I think I'm just taking these.
Yeah, I started
Actually-
messing with this yesterday. There's something about idle games that it like preys on your deep subconscious need
Numbers
to
go
see
up.
numbers go up. Yes.
Kongregate has made quite a few idle games, and whenever I was doing player experience management, those were my jam, because I would get very into them, and they were like, "Can you make this help center?" I was like, "Gladly, because you got this all wrong."
Nice.
What are some of your favorite idle games on the site?
Oh, on the site, I don't think Idle Frontier was ever on the site, but I.
Oh, all right. I mean, on the site and or published by Kongregate. Yeah, there we go.
I've spent 6 months straight on Idle Frontier, just doing all the events, making sure that I saw all of them, making sure that, the players were having fun, I was having fun, I was in the community. And then, I guess I've got to say, Crush.
You know what? I do got to give you credit for Crush. I always forget that is an idle game. And I think they did a really cool job of like marrying the dating sim flow with the idle game flow. I was really impressed with that.
There was a dating simp flow.
The gameplay loop or whatever you guys call that. I don't know. I don't make them. I just play them and talk about them.
Yeah, no, the core dating loop is you got to get in on that, Tom. I know that it sounds cheesy and romantic and squeamishy maybe a little bit, but
Because it is.
Full
I think the word you're
disclosure.
looking for is it can be a bit cringe, but
Full disclosure. We're currently in the middle of doing a massive upgrade to the site. So I was testing on our staging site, and I was trying to find games so I could verify certain bits of functionality. And I won't say that I got sucked into Crush for about an hour or so, but
I played it live on stream. That was part of our Valentine's stream, and that was the one that I ended up liking the most because it was between that and Stug. I was really impressed with both of them.
But yeah, I played Frontier quite a bit also on Kongregate. Yeah, it's the idea that you still make progress even when you're not playing, but I'm going to use the word incremental, even though we're playing incremental cubes. It's that slow incremental progress punctuated by like the reset mechanic or like a prestige mechanic where you make a really big jump in your production and then it's like back to it's just like a constant dopamine drip. It's just
we get right up to our palms right here and we get that dopamine.
As an idle game novice, is the prestige system like common? Because I played a bit of Incremental Cubes already, which is why I'm just jumping into it here. And I thought the prestige system here was like a really cool idea.
What does it do? Will you click on that for me?
Okay.
So,
most of the games will have a mechanic like that. So basically, it's like you go through. You're playing in one session, and you're obviously increasing your temporary stats as it goes. But behind the scenes, you're gaining these whatever they are, prestige or some other word that you can cash in all at once and give yourself either permanent perks or. Usually it's like an exponential increase to your production abilities. So you do a prestige, you have to start over from scratch again.
Okay, that's what this game does.
Yeah, you're able to start over from scratch, but get back to where you were like way quicker, and then build up that prestige again to do that loop over and over.
Okay, all right. I'm remembering some Idle Frontier stuff and Cookie Clicker, maybe.
Cookie Clicker was the one that got me into all these things, yeah. I think that was
this
like the
game
grandpappy of them, yeah.
Does it that way, where you get to reset and everything, and like I was new to it, and it happened, I'm like, oh my god, that is so cool, but that like it makes the game so interesting, because you get to like, this point, and it's like, I gotta do 1,000 damage.
Yeah.
In increments of like... 10. I think 10, 20, 20.
You're getting there.
Well, I probably am gonna have to power some stuff up.
Yeah, spend that money. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, well, I gotta make it first. I can only collect it as quickly as it ticks.
Give it to me, give it to me.
Here, we'll make it tick faster.
There you go.
Would you live in a cube or a sphere?
I would live in a sphere, because then I would always be going somewhere.
You could always make yourself
you can't not have a mobile home if it is a sphere. Technically the truth.
I mean, we all live in cubes now, basically.
Planet to Run also said that, Tom. They said, I live in a cube. Oh, no. Sophia said, I live in a cube on a sphere. And then Planets Run said, we already live in a cube.
There you go.
I don't...
Sophia got deep. I live in a cube on a sphere. Yeah, she's looking at the big picture.
Let's get that.
Yeah, let's get us an upgrade.
Well, we're gonna prestige ones, because I forgot the prestige, the first prestige point is auto-collect, which, that way, when I get distracted... Not that that would ever happen. At least the game is still happening.
Oh my goodness.
But we can't do auto attack yet. We're just collecting. Whoops. Okay, stop autoing. Go on the offensive. We'll use these.
So were we supposed to have someone from Incremental Cubes joining us today?
I believe so, but I think that was a possibility.
Oh, just a possibility. Okay. Cool.
Yes.
I don't know how that reaching out to the developers works. I've only really worked with internal developers, and I know where most of them live. So if I needed something and they weren't answering me, I would be like, "Hey, I guess I'm coming over." I would bring flowers or chocolate or something to make it less unpleasant.
So the last Adrian, were you in the last stream I was in? We were playing another. No, that was Sophia and.
Francisco?
And Francisco, yeah.
Which one were you playing?
I gotta go back and check.
Yeah.
What the?
That was I just moved into a new apartment, and I have no idea. No one has buzzed in, and I...
Oh!
Nice.
Our special guest has arrived!
Yeah.
They can wait. I'm not expecting anybody.
Oh.
Yeah, I imagine that they were just pressing buttons to get someone to buzz them in. It might be a delivery person. But it did scare me to death. Just slightly lost all my color for a second.
Yeah, right. Who knows I'm here?
That's my defense mechanism. As soon as something scary happens, just fade into the background.
T-Rex rules. Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna move.
Just go octopus style. I kick up a bunch of stuff and I run away.
You'll never see me again.
Yeet.
Yep.
So, yeah, we were. I can't remember. I have to look up which one we were playing. But my question, because the dev was actually in chat with us on that.
Oh, right. That would have been.
Was
Oh, I remember
it
that too.
From
Yeah,
Mortal to God Gamer?
Yeah.
That's what
it
it was.
And
I
was
was
like,
halfway through watching that one before we started this.
and I was hoping that the dev would come in and help us, and talk to us on this one as well. Because my major question with these is always, because they're in essence infinite experiences. How do you work out the mathematics and for what you gain in any particular given period of time and what upgrades cost versus and like how the mathematical calculations involved in that must be just intense.
I have the
crazy.
same question because, like, a lot of times I played these kind of games. Well, not a lot. I've only played a couple.
Okay.
I recently got into Fortunes, where I was going with the earlier question. I really like it, but like, I'll just get hundreds of thousands of gold, and I'm like, how does this balance out in the long run?
Yeah, and his answer was, it was a lot of trial and error. I would try a number and it didn't work. I would tweak it. I was like, I thought it really took away some of that. I was like, I thought there was some complex algorithm in place that was.
No.
In my experience, we also do the pick a number. If it doesn't work, try a different number.
That's how I do all of our events as well. Like, the amount of times we're like, hey, these are the rules, and then within 2 hours someone breaks the game. I'm like, correction, here are now the rules.
Oh, Sophia just sent me a communique.
Oh, what's up? DHA.
That the developer, he was supposed to be here, couldn't make it, unfortunately, but he did provide a bunch of answers for us that we could look through.
Oh! So who wants to play the role of the developer to answer Tom's questions? Because I'm busy cubing.
Let's see if they answered okay. What is the most challenging aspect?
Yeah, I think we can do this now.
Hang on, I
looking
gotta
through all
figure
the
out
answers
how
now, too,
this is
yeah.
broken up into.
That was fine. I'm gonna unlock whatever
Yeah,
this is.
Please keep expanding our view here.
Yeah,
Wait a
listen,
minute.
click on a question and you'll see the answer. It will pop
Okay,
out.
I got this. Okay.
It's a asynchronous interview. That's how we're handling it.
There we go. Yeah, we got this. Okay, so closest question I see is how does incremental progression element contribute to the long-term engagement for players? Many incremental games have very little visual change as numbers progress. However, in our game, the cube capacity increases with each stage, making it visually intriguing. Thus,
I would agree with that. Yeah, because that's one of the things I like. Is I like the going from like a little tiny baby cube. I haven't even gotten past to like an actual
we've
proper
got like
one.
3 levels.
You
I
added a
think.
dimension also, yes.
Ooh, yeah.
You went
we
from
do
2D
those
to 3D, yep.
dimensions. Users are motivated not just by unlocking content, but also by the desire to progress further in the stages. Which, yeah, that sounds like a really good core loop. Keep building it up, and then knock it down and start over.
That's what I like about this game. I really like that it's just this simple, like, am I collecting or am I attacking? Like, I really like that feel for this one in particular. Now, like, Fortune, on the other hand, I like because there's a lot of things to do and click on when I'm actually in the game. Like, whenever I log in, it's a very active game, and then it does stuff in the background.
This looks like the best of both worlds, where you
Yeah.
can focus somewhere else, like to do a giveaway in about 5 minutes.
At least someone's on that.
Man, that was smooth. You can do anything you want, like, something we're supposed to do on the stream. Whenever you're ready.
You can just do it. Whenever
You
Type
can
in
do
the
it.
number.
I've seen you do it. This is a supportive stream, too. DHA Speedruns has joined us, too. I think I've seen them before on some other streams.
Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
they're a regular.
I
They're also a frequent winner of our creds.
Speaking of creds, you guys, we're going to do a giveaway soon, so be
Yeah, we are.
chatting in the chat and on YouTube, and let us know what your username is so that we can reward you.
Yep.
Even plan us to run.
Yeah.
And DHA
Actually,
Speedruns.
I literally know all 3 Kongregate usernames of the people who are currently in the chat, but I don't know who might not be in the chat yet. So make sure, if you are watching, that you are like saying hi in the chat. That's the only way the bot for the giveaway can see you. If you are on LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook, sorry,
join us on YouTube.
You're gonna have to go to YouTube and say hi if you want to get any creds.
That was a super bait and switch there. You're like, oh, if you're on any of these things, you have to go to this one and say hi. Yeah.
If you're on any of those, thank you. I'm so glad to have you. Really glad you're participating, but I want to give you cred. So just make sure you just sneak over to YouTube real quick, give us a quick hello, and then you can go back to your preferred viewing platform.
Will not hurt our feelings for it a little bit. The only way that you will hurt our feelings is by not letting us give you cool stuff.
Yeah. The thing that hurts my feelings the most is when someone wins, but then doesn't give me their username, and I have no way to give them the creds. Like that hurts.
That one is sad.
That cuts deep.
I just want to. Most people might not understand that working in the community is often thankless. We deal with a lot of people that are aggravated, agitated, So whenever we can give, and whenever we can be generous with our time and our energy, but most of all the hard currency that we get asked for free all the time, this is the time that we can give it to you.
My other thing too is so I mostly just work are on the server that's around our website as a platform, and so as opposed to the other community managers who work for games and give cool in-game items, all I have to give are creds. The only thing I can give away are creds at the moment, and so that's. Please give me this moment.
Let us help you.
Should I roll?
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll. We're still 4 minutes before 12:30,
yeah, let's get one in early.
Right.
We got people talking. We're gonna go with
we've had a really good chit chat this week.
Oh yeah.
10.
9, 8. I gotta do a longer countdown because
the synchronous.
Yeah, because I'm actually on camera for once. Also, I'm going to attack my cube. 4, 3,
You can do a giveaway and play this game
2.
at the same time.
Wait, I gotta attack the cube.
All right.
1. DHA speedrun! Congratulations on your 100 creds. I will be getting that into your account as soon as the stream is over, because there are cubes to hit.
Oh,
Have you guys?
Sorry, I'm looking. I heard the word DHA speedrun, so now So I just recently got into speedruns myself.
Yeah.
And kind of following some of that stuff. So if he's curious, if he's interested in interacting, I'd be curious if he's actually a speedrunner and what games he speedruns.
Cool.
But yeah, a buddy of mine introduced me to Summoning Salt on YouTube. I'm not sure if any of you guys watch that. He does these really in-depth in-depth documentaries about the history of specific game speedruns. Super interesting, and the tips and tricks that have to happen in order to get those speedruns and how difficult they are. But yeah, when Metroid Dread came out a year or so ago, that was the first game I was able to see the speed runs happening in real time and the world records getting broken over and over, instead of Mario Brothers, the world record's been established for a super long time. It's still interesting to find out about how it works, but it was really cool to finally see a brand new game come out and the speed runs kind of kick off out of nowhere. So yeah, I'm just curious. It's just a new aspect of the gaming industry that I've gotten into.
They speedrun a lot of Flash games on Kongregate. So
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you have a Twitch or anything, DHA? I'd love to plug you.
I never thought to ask, and now I'm incredibly curious about the response, because that gives me an idea.
Oh yeah, definitely. Instead of doing just these live streams, we could do a couple of speed runs a month.
But maybe we'll see what happens. But it'd be really cool to know if anyone's out there making Kongregate content. I'm not aware of anyone. But in chat, if anyone knows someone on Twitch or on YouTube or really anywhere who's doing Kongregate content, please let me know in the Discord.
Yeah, definitely. Give us a heads up. I still don't exactly get speedruns. I am one of those people that likes to enjoy every morsel of the game, and as I finish it, I'm still licking the crumbs off the plate. I'm like, is there any more? Can I dig any deeper into this game?
I can't do speed runs, but
You're interested in them.
yeah, I totally respect the skill required to do them, especially when you're talking about, I'll go back to Mario Brothers, but you're talking about like frame perfect inputs, dozens or tens of times throughout a run, and any one you mess up, that's it. Time to hit reset and try over again. And like that sort of patience, this is coming from somebody who's got close to 20 years of testing experience. So like even that sort of patience, I don't really understand. It's crazy, but it's just like the hand-eye coordination and like the attention to detail that goes into it, and the technical knowledge needed to break things in particular ways it's crazy. I mean, those people would make the greatest game testers ever.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's just like it's like black hat game testing. That's what it can be kind of seen as sometimes.
I forgot that term existed, but now that you mention it, yes, it's definitely.
Planets of Run says they stream on Twitch sometimes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Also, they said that. Can you imagine Adrian doing speedruns? It would go poorly. Let me tell you what. Because, and I was going to say this as well, so I don't really watch a lot of speedruns, not really my jam, but I play, one of my, all-time favorite series is Monster Hunter. And Monster Hunter is a game where as long as the monster dies before you do, anything is valid. So there's not really a meta, there's not really tier lists and that kind of stuff, but there is, the time attack meta. And so I've watched people do that, and I respect the knowing every mechanic down and getting it perfect, but that's just not me. I would much rather be okay, but what things did they not think about mixing together? And then once I do, what does that do? I just want to break things in a completely different way.
DHA says that they have tested a couple of games and they love breaking them. So it sounds like we have found a good
there's that tester tester mentality where you're I tell people all the time, people are what's testing games like? It's it's great. It's, you get to play broken games over and over and over, but it could be difficult because it's basically my job to tell somebody that their baby's ugly, and it's just
I love that analogy. That is great. Oh, you just summed up an entire profession in one sentence. That's amazing.
Yes. I love this thing. I lovingly crafted it for many years.
Well, here's a problem.
Let me point out all
these flaws with it, and
exactly.
Oh,
it's not really a viable baby at this time.
Because I'm used to having to deliver bad news as a community manager, but I'm delivering that to an audience. I can't imagine having a one-on-one conversation being all right, I need to tell you all of your shortcomings.
You just got to take a very fact-based, impartial approach. Hey,
very fair.
It's not personal. This is just stuff we saw.
Yes. Yes. I've had to have a couple of those conversations myself. Not QA related, but communications related.
For sure. It's well, QA it's a weird discipline. When I'm not throwing the entire industry under the bus, but when a game comes out,
takes a Tom.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's my new podcast. Hot takes Tom. When a game comes out and there's issues with it, inevitably the first question is, was this even tested? Yeah, was this even tested? And there's lots of stuff that goes on behind the scenes with testing that the general public doesn't have access to.
Right.
So we could do a full QA
deep dive
stream maybe in a couple weeks.
Well, actually, this is really relevant because I was just talking to some people in our Discord this morning because Library, a game on our website, got 3 new badges for an update that we're not quite sure made it in time. We're still trying to figure it out. According to people on the server, those items aren't in the game yet, even though they're supposed to be. And the very first question that came up was was this tested or anything? And it's you're right, it should be, but there's a lot of things going on, and there's only so many things we can test, and some things we just kind of have to hope it's there, and sometimes it's not.
And Kongregate is a unique ecosystem because, we're a gathering place for numerous other developers. We don't test every game that's on the platform. We provide the tools and the platform for them to release their games onto the public. So, yeah, it's the idea. You just gave me kind of like a twitch in my neck when you're like the idea that we're going to test every new game that comes out on the site,
or every badge we had to do. Like, and again, you people listening, like we understand, like, yes, that would be the ideal way to do it, and it is frustrating, but like, we're doing the best with what we got, guys. We really are.
I'm just a man.
Just one guy. We're just normal men.
I actually got to help set up a bug bounty program, which helps our community. Only available in certain games, subject, conditions.
Your results may vary. Yeah. Asterisk.
I feel like I should know about this.
Your surprise face is what made me remember to put the asterisks after this. For Animation Throwdown and Spellstone and Iron Unleashed, we had a bug bounty program where if players wrote in with bugs and they gave us accurate reproduction steps, they get hard currency from those games because they're helping us and we're making the game better. So
heck yeah.
Very much thank you.
Also, real quick, just bringing us back to Cube Land.
Oh yeah, I guess we
just to give us a reference to like, oh no, it's fine. I'm playing this in the background. Like, it's cool. It's just one of those games that does. But like, I mean, we're at phase 5, and we're already got to like. Look at this. I'm getting increments of what is this, 100, and it wants me to get to 200,000.
Oh my goodness, yeah, you're gonna have to
so you hit a wall early in the. Yeah, you got a prestige. Like, again, this was Babby's first incremental for me. Or like, not Babby's first, because I played Realm Grinder for a bit as well. And so like when I got to this point, this is when I learned about prestiging, and this is a cool mechanic. What do we want to do though?
Do the attack. I would do attack.
You want to do all attack?
Yeah.
Thing is, it gets more expensive the more we go down, and so there's like this kind of back and forth between.
What's the top or the second line, the one that we don't have yet?
Bonus multiplier, which I don't take only because I don't know how it works. That's the only reason. I don't really get it. There's this multiplier thing. Bonus multiplier 5. So is that like a 5% chance to get a second one or something?
I think that's whenever you clear out a stage, you get a bonus. Maybe. I honestly love going into these games blind.
Yeah.
Because it allows me to have a clean palette. It allows me to see things as a first-time user would see them, and that is one of my favorite things. Also,
I just kind of like the learning curve of games, and I find it really interesting. So like. Because one of my favorite genres right now is the whole reverse bullet hell arena wave shooter genre, and one of the things I like about it is like you're using everything and you're slowly like making different builds, and there are so many stats when you first see them. You're like, well, that doesn't seem interesting, and then you get like later in the game, you're like, I have been sleeping on how important this is. But for now, we'll just go attack.
Give me what's an example of that genre you just mentioned?
Vampire Survivers, Potato, Soulstone Survivors. Yeah.
I also learned that term from Adrian.
Because I'd heard
that
several
is one
times.
of the names, or Library on our site, which we were just talking about, which is also recently updated as a reverse bullet hell. It's a really good one, too.
Is that the one with the companions in it?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Unless you just dropped a huge spoiler.
No, it's not. Yeah.
Wait, I did the one that I was just talking about on the live stream with someone.
I'm curious now.
Oh, we'll have to rack my brain.
Yeah, Diverge. I just really like those games.
It was Chef's Last Stand.
Yes, that is another one. Yes, that is another one that we did. That one's really fun as well. What I like about it is there's this like core mechanic and like some things, but like every single instance I've played of one of these games have been wildly different than the other ones. Mm-hmm. Like some people, for example, some people in Chef's Last Stand were complaining like, oh, the XP despawns. In every other game, it stays there forever. And I'm like, yeah, that's a mechanic you have to play around now. Like. Each one is different. Sometimes you can aim, sometimes it's only auto-aim. Like, I just have been really liking it. I'm also getting older, and
This is a topic of conversation of this
Yes.
The theme today, yeah.
And I'm working on a computer all day, and so like my wrist is starting to hurt, right? What I love about these reverse bullet hell games is a lot of them you can play on a controller with one joystick. That's all you need.
Yes, I'm a big fan of that. Because sometimes you have other things going on. The cat wants to be pet, and you can just pet the cat and play a video game at the same time.
I don't get why it's called a reverse bullet hell though.
Oh, if like I think Vampire Survivors is where that term got coined.
Okay.
And if you've watched much gameplay of it, it's the idea that like
yeah.
it's the idea that like you're the boss spawning the crap tons of projectiles, and the other things are the ones coming at you. Like that's the idea.
I mean,
Bit of a stretch for me, but all right. You know?
I respect and understand that definition. However, I thought that it was called reverse bullet hells because you're sucking in all those gems to level up, and like the reverse.
You're trying to hit the things, yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, it's one of those genres. Like I hear it called all sorts of things, like arena shooter, wave shooter. Like I don't think it's really stabilized on a name right now. It reminds me of. Did you guys watch the auto chess kind of like rise in popularity there for a bit?
No.
Which was like the Dota 2 mod.
I didn't get into Dota.
Oh
at
man!
all.
Oh, this was a mod. I just some of my
Okay.
streamers that I was watching started playing it, and that's or Teamfight Tactics. That's the most famous one that's come out from it. But that's another genre that just kind of coalesced, and for a while it had a bunch of different names: Auto Battler, Auto Chat. Like there was all these names for it. I think we've kind of stabilized on Auto Battler, but.
That makes a lot more sense to me.
Same.
But it's like metal genres, heavy metal genres. It's so minute. It's like really. Do you tell me there's a difference between those two?
And really, honestly, if you want to look at it that way, it is just if you want to like take metal genres, but in this case, metal is just indie roguelike games. It's just yet another slightly different taste. Of roguelite indie games. Not complaining, love them to death.
Black death metal, prog,
Yep. No, as soon as you did the jump to metal genres, I was like, my brain, I got you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because, like, I'm not that into music as far as like understanding it, knowing a lot of the music history, but like I love talking about music with people, and no one cares more about the most the smallest differences in genre than metalheads. Like, you know, my dad's a classic rock. He listens to dad rock. They don't care. Like rap doesn't really care. Pop, like no one else cares that much.
The country folks, I would argue, they are angry about pop country.
Pop country versus cowboy country. Yeah, that's valid.
That's become a newer thing, though, in like the past 5 years.
And that's more of like a generation, like a timed, like there was a point where what country is changed. But the thing with like metal is there's just, it's like fractal. It's like the more you look at it, the more form.
I like the way you put that. I mean, it's true. It's all true.
Oh, I'm not.
Any fan base that gets, further down enough into the rabbit hole is gonna, start to defend that stuff, and that's cool. I'm just too old to care about it anymore.
That's where I'm at as well. Like don't care. I like how it sounds. Call it whatever you want.
Listening to anything new lately?
Exactly. I love music in total forever because I don't know. You have to be passionate to play music, and then to make music, it's even more passion because then you have to be confident enough to put your music out there. You know, your art and how you feel. That all goes into how you make music. So to me, it's just like an intricate part of the human psyche that we all share. And I will talk about music all day long. I played the clarinet and the oboe in band, so I can even read it if I need to.
Yeah, music's one of those things where there's a lot of things that my brain can just learn like 5% of and be like, I got a general understanding of this. Yeah, all right. Music has constantly eluded me. It is like my brain, every time I like try to get it, my brain is like, Nah, dog, it's just magic. I don't know.
Magic.
They're just doing stuff, and then it comes together, and the sound is awesome. Like, there is no logic to this. It just is. And I know that's the opposite. I know it's actually very logical, and a lot of people who are, like, for example, really into programming can also often end up being really into music. So,
I mean, music theory is something that you can major in college, or music.
Yeah.
What am I thinking? I think it is music theory.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I find it really hard. Like, I always have. Like, I find it really hard to get into brand new music. Like, to me, music, the music I like is always tied to either a memory or a period in my life that I can kind of like get back into that mind space when I listen to it again. So it's really hard for me to get into new music. But every once in a while, something comes along. And,
yeah, those little bops come in.
Yeah, for sure. I keep plugging these guys to folks on the engineering team, but King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard? No.
I also,
Are we dropping?
We're dropping some recommendations.
I have been listening. I've kind of finally chilled a bit and been listening to other stuff, but I was listening to this one band for like 3 or 4 months straight. They are called Royal Republic. My like elevator pitch is they're basically, I think, Sweden's version of Foo Fighters. They are awesome. Their production is amazing. They like just write these really interesting, really catchy songs with like rock beats and funk beats, and like can't recommend them enough.
I love this conversation so much, especially I don't know, Tom and I barely knew each other last week, and I feel like we are best friends forever now.
Do you like King Gizzard? Is that what?
I do.
That would seal the deal? Nice.
I think it was Crush that sealed the deal, but this one's all right too.
They just drop. They're great. Every time they release a new album, it's like a different genre. So you never know what you're going to get when you get one of their albums.
I love artists like that.
I like their rock leaning stuff more, but yeah, they just put out a new album. They're also incredibly prolific. They put out a couple albums every year. It's nuts. But yeah, they just released a new album. If this one's more rocky, it's got a crazy name.
Also,
what King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizards has
the name of the
album name.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see there. So I'll give them a quick plug here.
While you're doing that, real quick shout out to Plan is to run in the chat right now, because yes, Teamfight Tactics is really fun. I want to play more of it. I got into Dota Underlords after the auto chess thing kind of blew up for a bit, and that, as we know, did not really end up going anywhere, unfortunately. And so I've been meaning to get back into it, and I've been meaning to specifically play Teamfight Tactics. Honestly, the thing where I'm at right now is I'm just kind of done playing competitive games at the moment. Like, when I was in like my 20s, I played so much Hearthstone and other like card games. I loved competitive games, and I think I kind of burnt out. And so now in my 30s, I'm just like, nah, just give me cubes or, survival games where I can like spend hours and not have to interact with anyone. Thank you very much.
This is becoming a very melancholy, existential dread-related podcast. I can't do it anymore. I
didn't mean it like that. I just meant like, no.
Adrian,
I have had my fill. It's more of a, it's more. It is a I've had my fill. Like I've had my time, and now I just want to be a video game hermit.
I get it. Yeah.
How are we doing on this 200K? Are you gonna upgrade?
I'm like trying to build resources for it right now. Like I'm trying to get this blue tick speed up while we're clicking.
What does the blue tick do? Oh, I see. It has a different.
They're more powerful. They're
I think they're like
cubes.
Yeah, like watch. You see one join, and it'll be. I think it goes up by like a different value. It looks like a 10 or something.
I guess. Real quick, we had a couple of more questions that we asked the developers.
Oh yeah.
The brief overview, which I guess we could have led with instead of.
Yeah, we're doing it right.
Incremental Cubes is an incremental game themed around cubes. Nailed it. That's
Mild shock. Yeah.
It's inspired by Pixel's Filling Squares, which our Kongregate also publishes. The game initially started with the idea of representing the cubes from Pixel's Filling Squares in 3D. We incorporated a hack and slash element, where filled cubes are used as resources to reduce the opponent's health.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense.
So what is the opponent in Incremental Cubes? Like, what are we fighting? Is it a spheres? I gotta be spheres.
It says...
The cube's mortal enemy.
Watch out. Paper covers rock.
You ain't got
no corners on me.
Yeah, I just said the exact same thing. I said, you ain't got no corners, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No.
This is a dangerous group for this for this live stream.
Yeah, right. When I was told that Sophia and Francisco will be out, and so it's going to be me, Elisa, and Tom. I was like, all right, we'll be fine. We have a script. We don't need it. I'm glad the developer has questions because, like, if they have been here, we might have just forgotten to ask them.
Just gone right over it. One of the noteworthy systems in Incremental Cubes is how cubes are calculated.
Okay,
although
that could be relevant.
Although it gets a bit mathematical, we constructed our calculation method inspired by the McLaurin series. The system ensures that the maximum number of cubes is achieved when the colors of the filled cubes are evenly distributed. If this was math class, I would have already been asleep.
Yeah, he's already smarter than I am.
This whole vocabulary. Additionally, as the number of cube colors increases, the cubes obtained increase exponentially. We believe these unique ideas differentiate our game from other incremental games. And I have to agree.
Yeah. Like, I've played a couple, and again, I think it's a really cool genre. It has not grabbed me. It's just not. I like the arena shooters. I want a game where I'm constantly active. Like, that's what I want.
You need to constantly be making decisions.
Exactly. And so
have you done Civ?
I have almost 1,200 hours in Stellaris.
Stellaris, oh my goodness.
That is, I love that game.
I have,
Oh wait, I'm supposed to be buying blue cubes. Blue cubes are where it's at.
1,200 hours in Civ 6.
Nice! I need to go back to it, like...
So good.
So, like, yeah, Civ 5 was my gateway into 4X, but I really like, when it comes to 4X, I like Paradox's approach to time. I like that real-time with pause functionality, like that kind of hybrid between turn-based and real-time. Mostly because I just get really distracted, and so in Civ 6, I'll be like, I'm too busy fighting, whatever, auto, and then I'll come back after the war and be like, why is my economy terrible?
What's your main genre, Tom?
It's probably... back in the day, it was platformers. I used to... Definitely a huge platformer fan, and that continued into the 3D explosion. I was big into, like, 3D collect-a-thon platformers for a long time. Mario 64, amazing.
Oh, earlier.
Banjo-Kazooie, amazing. I just beat the last Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart.
Oh yeah,
which was awesome.
One.
I haven't played a Ratchet and Clank game in quite a while because there's quite a few of them. Yeah, I played the first one, and I think I messed around with the second, but then I haven't played them for a while, so it was a nice kind of reintroduction to it.
1 is great and sets the whole world and everything, but 2 is where the series shines because they just go over and they do a huge quality of life pass, and a lot of the mechanics that you're used to in every game after that started in 2. So you go back to 1, you're just like, where is my auto lock? This is way harder now.
Yeah, but nowadays collect-a-thon genre is kind of not super popular anymore.
Yeah.
I still enjoy them when they come out, but I'd have to say that it's I'm trying to even think like what a generic term for the genre is, but like just action adventure games. Like I'm not good at strategy games. Like if I have to think how my actions now are going to affect me 5 turns in the future, then I'm basically done. My brain shuts down.
You just described the moment I'm living for in all of my games. That's what I like about the reverse bullet hells as well, is because a lot of times, I mean, you're getting a random set of items and you got to make smart choices each time and think. Anyway, so I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's totally cool. But I
thinking, yeah.
So are you a fan of traditional RTS games?
So I was when I was younger. That was one of the genres I got into when I was a kid, but I had no idea what I was doing when I was playing it.
Sure.
Like, my little tiny brain had not, and I mean, I was like a preteen, so like I was just dumb. And I would just like click around and play like Empire Earth or Rise of Nations or Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds.
Red Alert 2 at all?
I didn't get into Red Alert until Red Alert. No, I didn't get to Red Alert at all. I got into Command & Conquer with Command & Conquer 3 on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, that was after I worked there. Sorry. Yeah.
Planet to Run wants to know what your favorite horror game is.
Ooh.
Tom.
My favorite
Specifically
horror
at
game.
Tom did.
My favorite horror game. It'd probably be, man. So.
Oh, I have an answer.
We can I consider like the Metroid genre to have some aspects of horror in it, even though it's
fair assessment.
A Metroidvania. Yeah, but I mean, if we're talking about strict horror, I'd probably go with Dead Space. The original Dead Space. I'm playing through the remake right now, so I haven't done too much. But I feel like the original Dead Space had they utilized lighting and sound way more effectively to make scary moments. But 2 was really good also, but that was more of like action set piece kind of game. But yeah, I'd probably say, I'm trying to think now, but I'd probably say Dead Space 1 or 2 for different reasons. But if we're going to include like Metroid Prime into that calculation, then yeah, I'll probably go with that. I'm not crazy into strict horror games though.
I don't like to be scared, but I would
like
watch
to be
a lot
scared.
of scary movies. Yeah.
I love horror movies also. Yeah, but I don't know. Mostly because I am horrible at survival horror. I'm horrible at inventory maintenance and management.
Those are your horror games.
Yeah, when I have to use dual stick shooting.
You're playing Dead Space. You're like, so homie. You get to like Valheim. You're like, survival, inventory. No, what is this madness?
Yeah, because I'm horrible at dual stick aiming, so my ammo is always like rock bottom. So it just ends up being frustrating. But I've recently, been really into. We were chatting about it a little beforehand, but Elden Ring was my first introduction to Soulsborne and From Software, the first one that took anyway. I tried in the past and it never took, but now that it's clicked in my head, I went back and played Bloodborne, which was amazing, and now I'm super excited to try Armored Core 6, even though it's a genre and a game I've never played before, and it's different from their traditional Soulsborne stuff.
But it's where they're from. It's their origin.
Yeah. But it's crazy. Like Elisa, you said I didn't purchase Tears of the Kingdom yet, and I'm a huge Nintendo fanboy from way back. But the increased emphasis on building in Tears of the Kingdom made me kind of not want to jump right into it.
I asked one of my friends, why is there building material everywhere? I mean, after 300 hours, I definitely get it now. But that was one of my first questions. I didn't play Breath of the Wild a whole lot. I didn't finish it. There's a lot going on. And I was really frustrated with the controller and how you had to flip it sometimes to finish puzzles. I'm glad that
the motion controls were kind of wonky.
Right. Yeah, that was the thing. I didn't play a lot of. I did play it. I didn't play a lot of it, so I don't remember all of those little details.
I played a lot of Breath of the Wild, but I'm gonna Tom's other hot takes. Here we go. I hate weapon durability in games. It drives me up a wall. Whether it's just like a way to siphon credits off because I have to repair something over and over again. Like that was one thing in Bloodborne that I was just like, why is this mechanic in here?
Well, that's what I like about like Monster Hunter on the other hand, or you work towards a weapon and then you have it for a while and it's like part of your character and your build and everything. And so when the weapon durability Like all the cool weapons I found, I just never used them because I was like,
Well, it's
that like
what-
trying to get maximum value thing kicked in.
I was
Talking
playing.
about maximum value,
Okay.
let's do one more roll.
Oh, it's
for
almost 2 o'clock,
creds. Yeah, it is.
You read my mind because if you didn't do that segue, I was going to. I wanted to try to do this boss fight on stream, but I
It
think
doesn't
this
look
is
like
one
we're
of
gonna get to
those.
it.
I think this is one of those you're supposed to let it idle for a while.
Okay.
And then come back. So see you
All right,
guys
we
next week.
tried. Yeah, no, let's do a giveaway real quick. Everyone, I've seen a lot of chit chat. We've definitely had a lot of questions. It's been a really good stream. We're gonna do it in 10 seconds. Is that what you're?
10 seconds? Yep, I just
All
didn't
right.
turn off my alarm. Let's just, we'll get it, because we've just announced it. That announcement's going to take some time to get to their ears. So let's give them a chance to know that, hey, if you're in the YouTube chat, say hello to us if you want to win
Yes.
100 creds. If you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere else,
Come say hi.
please come to YouTube real quick and say hi to us so that we can get you registered to win 100 creds in about a minute.
Yeah, about a minute. A minute.
And we'll see if I can. I don't think I'm going to get through this. Maybe I should, like,
You're chewing through it.
I'm
we
really
gotta
not.
set up part 2 with Adrian, Tom, and Alicia here. This has been really fun.
This is going to be our new side stream where we just, the three of
It's
us,
Tom's hot takes.
it's just us talking about nothing while I slowly get through this game in real time. Not even idle time. We're doing it real time. All right,
That
10,
works. All right, we're doing
9.
We're doing a giveaway.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, a 2,
Oh, what?
a 1. Rolling. Plan is to run. It's
to
once
run.
again our.
Yay.
It's like DHA and Plan is to run. We have our dynamic duo of our most frequent winners here today. All right, Plan is to run. Don't need your Kongregate username. You can write it if you want, but appreciate you being around. And I'll get you those 100 creds as soon as this stream is finished.
Speaking of finishing, do you guys want to go ahead and wrap up?
Is it that time?
It
It
is about that
is.
time.
But look how close I am. I only have
Only
all the health left to
192,000.
go. Oh, I'm not on attack. Actually, let's see how much I'm doing in a go.
I do want to say thanks for playing incremental cubes with us, even though I can't talk today. Join us again next week, and we'll do more giving away and more gaming. And if you have any fun tips and tricks, like you watched us and we weren't that great, please help us.
Tell me how I beat this. Like, what's the strategy? Because actually, this is where I got stuck in my personal run. So I don't think I've been to face. Actually, maybe I have, but not much farther. So please, please, please.
The links
Help.
to all of our social media is going to be in the description. We've got a link to the Discord, so please come tell us how to be good at this. Tom, do you have anything you want to say? Anything you want to be like, hey,
Oh my
come check
gosh.
this out?
Well, I mean,
Wait, what is this? Sorry.
that's all right. Just that we, like I mentioned earlier, we are in the middle of a very large site redesign and restructure with additional functionality and all sorts of cool new user features. So it's happening. We are testing things. We are getting things ready to go out live, and we hope that you will find our additions helpful and make the experience on the site even better. But yeah, that's what my team is working on right now. It's very
I'm
busy.
Yes.
And,
I'm very ready for it. Like I said at the start, I've been here for a very long time. Kongregate is one of my best friends.
oh, nice.
Um,
Yeah, a lot to do because the site, kind of sat idle for a
was-
while. So
It's got a little bit of dust on it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. It turns out websites are not idle games. You actually do need to
Exactly.
actively
You gotta
play
kinda-
them.
gotta keep them up. Yeah.
Also, y'all,
was gonna
I just
say,
found out there's a whole other layer to this game.
so many colors.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm just curious what this last prestige point is, and it's the power of the cube, which is something.
Okay, alright. It looks like we get a lot of colors to pick. So the question did say that the colors were important.
Well,
I believe
We'll
you.
we'll find out in a future if we do follow this upstream.
Tom's
But
hot
until
takes.
then,
Enter the
Yeah,
cube.
so Adrian, when does the Who's That Companion end?
Oh, Who That Companion runs until Sunday at midnight because that is when the new Companion unlocks. So you have any point before that, you can just go over. The outline is in our announcements channel as well as in the Who's That Companion channel. You just have to go to the most recent thread. A lot of people out there are guessing and all this stuff, but I mean that's cool. Your guesses are fun, but you gotta draw. I gotta see it. I gotta have something that I can show on stream. So yeah, like let me know what you see. Don't worry. Like Sophia draws these things, and you've seen how bad those are. You're fine. Whatever idea you have.
Next time.
Yeah, you're just draw it. No one's gonna judge you.
All right.
Unless you're Sophia.
Well, yes.
It's a deep insight into your psyche. Yes.
We're only analyzing this for a total of 30 minutes tops, you guys. I'm joking. We won't go that deep. So thank you all for joining us. Join us again next week, and I hope that you all have a really great rest of your day and have a great weekend.
Same to you. Take care, everyone.
Hang on 1 second. I haven't ended the stream. I wasn't ready.